NASA top secret moon mission exposed an astonishing classified report. The top secret mission to nuke the moon exposed in classified reports of NASA. It was part of a top secret plan to detonate a warhead on the moon after Cold War tensions threatened to reach heightened levels. This is what declassified documents show. Known as Project A-119. The program was scheduled by U.S. Air Force, and the aim was to nuke the moon with the aid of the space agency, with NASA. According to these files, the study, quote-unquote, would help answer the mystery surrounding our moon and its astrogeology. And the timing could not have been more convenient. They wanted to find out about the geology of the moon. This came as the USSR leapfrogged into the space race, launching Sputnik 1 on October 4th, 1957. That was the first artificial man-made satellite in orbit around the Earth. That's when President Dwight D. Eisenhower had no doubt felt the pressure of the space race. The History Channel uncovered analyzed what the files claimed the project was for. They said that the Project A-119 was a top secret program developed by the U.S. Air Force in 1958, and their goal was to detonate a small nuclear warhead to investigate what would happen in space concerning the use of such things. A 190-page declassified report, 1959, says that the motive for this was for scientific, military, political reasons. The report discussed possible effects on the lunar surface from the blast and how long the radioactive fallout could last there. But the true intention of Project A-119 was to show the strength against the Soviet Union. Now, the channel went on to explain why the U.S. would want to do such a thing, and it said the U.S. was lagging behind in the space race, and the Air Force wanted some kind of a mushroom cloud to be exposed large enough that it could be visible with the naked eye from here on Earth. It would have been a massive show of force, and they had goals and hoped that it would boost the morale of the American public as well. They had seen Soviets begin the space race with the launch of Sputnik in 1957, and the program had little to do with the stated goals of the scientific studies, what they claim. A small W-25 with a low 1.7 kiloton yield was chosen to be used, and the series went on to explain how such an explosion would have sent a message, of course, to the Kremlin. And it said it would be carried by a rocket towards the hidden side of the moon, near the lunar terminator, for maximum visibility on Earth, they said. Now, this means that the mushroom cloud would be lit up by the sun, and that's the way it could have been visible from Earth, in particular from Moscow. And all of this research showed that the program was technically feasible, and it could launch as early as 1959. However, the program was cancelled due to the fear of a negative reaction from the public and risk to the population if something, of course, went wrong. There's also concern about destroying the pristine lunar environment for future moon research and even human colonization, of course, obviously. So the possibility of doing this to the moon was completely sidelined in 1967 after the introduction of the Outer Space Treaty by the US, the UK, and the Soviet Union. This agreement prohibits the placing of any such weapons in space. It limits the use of moon and other celestial bodies to peaceful purposes only. It establishes that space shall be free from exploration and use by all nations. So all nations have the freedom to explore and use space. Outer Space Treaty does not ban military activities within space, military space forces, or weaponization of space, with the exception of the placement of these things in space. So the space race tensions rumbled on until the US, of course, pulled off the historic Apollo 11 mission of landing the first men on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in July of 1969. This is by Callum Hoare on Express UK. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.